says then going to be showing you my Universal DVD collection. Says start, I have everything they've released so far. Says start, this is from 1975 to 2020. Says start. First one is Jaws, this came in 1975, it's 12. There's a side, there's a back, it's 12 suits for only person of 12 years and over, not to be for 10 plus whether age. Here's a disc. Next is Jurassic Park's Trilogy Collection, that came in 1993. It's PG. There's a side. There's a back. PG contains murder, violence, and threat. Parental guidance and room. Some scenes may be suitable for young children. Here's the running times and all that. Here's Jurassic Park. Here's the Lost World Jurassic Park. Here's Jurassic Park 3. Next is Apollo 13. This came in 1995. It's PG. There's a side. There's a back. PG parental guidance and room. Some scenes may be suitable for young children. Here's a disc. Next is E.T. the Extraterrestrial. This came in 1998. It's PG. There's a side. There's a back. PG contains mild language, parental guidance and room. Some scenes may be suitable for young children. Here's a disc. Next is Ants. This came in 2000. It's PG. There's a side. There's the other side. There's the back. PG contains mild language and danger. Parental guidance and review of some scenes may be suitable for young children. Yes, leaflet is the back. Here's a disc. Next is The Grinch. This came 2000. It's PG. There's a side. There's a back. PG, mild bad language, threat, parental guidance, sharing room. Some scenes may be suitable for young children. Yes, leaflet as a back. Here's a disc. Next is Lego The Adventures of Clutch Powers. This came 2010. It's a U. There's a side. There's a back. So you can test more violence and threat University of All. Here's a disc. Next is Hop. This came 2011. It's a U. There's a side. There's a back. So you can test very mild language and slapstick University of All. Here's a disc. Next is How to Train Your Dragon 2. This came 2014. It's PG. There's a side. There's the other side. There's the back. PG, mild violence, threat, parental guidance, and food. Some scenes may be suitable for young children. Yes, leaflet as a back. Here's a disc. Next is 6 mini movies collection from Despicable Me and Despicable Me 2. This came 2014. It's PG. There's a side. There's a back. PG contains no material likely to offend or harm parental guidance, sharing room. Some scenes may be suitable for young children. Here's a disc. Next is Sing. This came 2017. It's a U. There's a side. There's a back. So U contains very mild bad language, threat, rude, humor, University of All. Yes, leaflet as a back. Here's a disc. Next is Despicable Me 3. This came 2017. It's a U. there's a side, there's a back. Steel contains mild common violence, rude humour, very mild bad language, university of all. Here's a disc. Next is Skyscraper, this came 2018, it's a 12, there's a side, there's a back. 12 contains murder, violence, threat, injury, detail, and frequent strong language. Suits for only person of 12 years and will not suit for any person by their age. Here's a disc. Next is Johnny English Strikes Again, this came 2018, it's PG, there's a side. There's the other side, there's a back. PG mild common violence, language, parental and xenophobic, some scenes may be suitable for young children. ES leaflet as a back. Here's a disc. Next is How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, this came 2019, it's PG, there's a side, there's a back. PG contains mild threat, violence, language, parental guidance, xenophobic, some scenes may be suitable for young children. Here's a disc. Next is Little, this came 2019, it's a 12, there's a side, there's a back. 12 contains murder, sex references, language, suited for only person of 12 years and over, not suitable for any person by their age. Here's a disc. Next is The Secret Life of Pets 2, this came 2019, it's a U, there's a side, there's the other side, there's a back. It's U, mild threat, violence, very mild bad language, university of all. Yes, leaflet as a back. Here's a disc. Next is Yesterday, this came 2019, it's a 12, there's a side, there's the other side, there's a back. 12 contains frequent strong language, drug references, murder, sex references, suits for only person of 12 is not suitable to any person by their age. Yes, leaflet as a back. Here's a disc. Next is Blinded by the Light, this came 2019, it's a 12, there's a side, there's the other side, there's a back. 12 contains racist language and behaviour, murder, bad language, suits for any person of 12 years and over, not to use fight any plus by their age. Here's a disc. Next is Abominable, this came 2019, CU. There's a side, there's a back. CU contains mild threat, very mild violence, rude humour, university of all. Here's a disc. Next is The Addams Family, this came 2019, it's a PG. There's a side, there's a back. PG contains mild comic threat, language, parental guidance, xenophobic, some scenes may be suitable for young children. Here's a disc. Next is Lost Christmas, this came 2019, it's a 12, there's a side, there's a back. 12 contains murder, sex references, language, suited to only person of 12 years old, not satisfied to any person by their age. Yes, leaflet as a back. Here's a disc. Next is Cats, this came 2019, CU. There's a side, there's the other side, there's a back. CU, very mild threat, rude humour, language, university of all. Here's leaflet as a back. Here's a disc. Next is the snail and the whale. This came 2019 CU. There's a side, there's the other side, there's the back. CU Vermont throughout University of Hull. Here's a disc. And the last one is 1917. This came 2020. It's a 15. There's a side. There's the other side. There's a back. 15 strong English detailed language. Suited to any person of 15 years old, not 65 to any passport or age. Here's a disc. So yeah guys, thank you for watching my video and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.